Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Santi Louis III of SL3 Simulations. Today we're going to talk about yet another mod for the TCA, which is the parking brake lift to unlock before you twist it. I have been asked many times about the progress of this project. I have halted development of this due to some mechanical and physical limitations of the unit. Fortunately, lately I have discovered a solution to the problem, so here we are. These are the things that you need, basically the things that you get from the kit. A modified handle to support the shaft, the new shaft. We have a laser engraved label for the handle and two acrylic pieces here for the locking tab and a spacer, and of course a manually tweaked spring for this purpose, and a 3D printed washer. So if you're not very familiar with the A320 parking brake system, this mod might prompt you to ask, is this mod necessary? Well, the answer is no, you don't need this. It's not necessary. You already have the parking brake on and off feature from the default mod, from the default unit. But if you are somebody who is a more serious enthusiast, or probably a real-life pilot who uses the simulation for your home practice, every bit of realism and immersion counts. In the real Airbus, the operation of the parking brake requires some pulling mechanism to unlock it from the towed position. So it's not just about twisting the handle, you have to lift it to unlock it before you twist it. For either direction, whether it's arm or disarm, it requires some lifting of the knob. So this mod is all about that. So basically it's all about immersion and realism. If we can do it, why not? Now once again, I'd like to remind you that this is a strictly do-it-yourself process. So SL3 Simulations will not be held responsible if you accidentally damage the unit in the process. But you have come this far. If you just follow along the video closely, you should be good. And like my other mods like the detent tension mod, this is 100% non-destructive, and the mod can be easily uninstalled should you want to remove it. Nothing else needs to be done. So let's continue to remove the cover. You need a 2.5mm Allen key to do this. Right, so first thing we need to do is to install this locking tab into this crevice here with a little push. Just push it through until you cannot push it no more. Next comes the spacer. As the name suggests, this is actually to allow more space between the floor of the panel and the ceiling of this cover, so that there's enough space for a spring like this to work. So next is to put this in like so. Then in goes the shaft. You notice there's a D-shaped hole there, which should correspond to your encoder shaft here, like so. Now you notice there is a locking tab at the edge of this shaft. This is responsible for the locking, where it should sit nicely into the notches of the locking tab. So when you pull it and rotate it, it sits again on the next locking tab. That should prevent you from twisting it. So lift again, twist, locks again. So in goes the spring, followed by the washer. And then you position this in place and replace back the cover like so. Now, as you can notice, the spring already begins to push the cover up. So you have to hold the cover pressed into place, aligning the holes there, so you can replace back the Allen screws. Now, another important thing to note here, you don't have to over tighten these screws again. So far, all the threads of the screws of the whole TCA unit is made of plastic. So if you over tighten any screws, you might run the risk of loosening up your thread, thereby disabling the tightening of a particular screw. So now that the cover is back, you notice that it is slightly protruded. Not by much, in fact you barely can notice the difference, but the spacer actually allowed a bit of space so the spring can work. So if you give it a try, you can see we can lift the shaft and it goes back in place by the spring. Right, so put this in place. Now you notice the button is no longer as protruding as it used to be from the original, and that is because we lifted the cover a little bit up. Now, as at the time of this recording, I haven't fabricated the cap that has to be inserted at the tip of the button like this, so it allows a little bit of extension, about 2 millimeters, so the button can sit on top like it used to with a bit of protrusion here. But even without it, the button still works. You can see here. I mean, in my opinion, it's not an issue. And of course, for our modified handle, we have to insert this in place here, but the kit should have it arranged for you already, like that. Right, so there are 2 or 3 ways to fix this in place. I didn't make it tight enough so that it's easy to be removed and replaced. You just press it all the way like that. So technically, with that amount of feet, you can already lift the thing and operate it like the real Airbus. However, after a prolonged use, you might find that this will loosen up, and then it might snap out of place as you lift it. So one way is you can either wrap a small amount of masking tape around this shaft before you put this in. That way it will make it much more tighter. Or if you wish to permanently fix this in place, again, my trusty glue. I have been using this glue for all my mods. CA glue, very strong. So just apply a little bit of glue there, maybe a drop, tiny drop here. Being careful that the glue doesn't drip downwards. In that way it can prevent you from operating it, as it might stick to the cover here. Or the best option is to use a screw. This is not the correct type, by the way, but just for demonstrative purposes, this screw goes into this hole here. Like so. Don't over tight. There you have the mod, folks. Now we have a realistic parking brake handle. If you don't lift it, you cannot twist it. You have to lift it to operate. So go back, cannot lift, operate, lift. So there you have, folks, our 4th installment of the DIY series for the TM Thrustmaster. I hope you like this modification, and of course, if you like the content of this video and my other videos, if you are new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. That's a little favor that can do a lot to the channel. So thanks for watching, guys. I don't know at this point whether there's more mod we can do for this unit, and hopefully it adds up immersion in your simulation experience. So thanks for watching, and hope to see you again in my future videos. Take care and have a nice day.